Brother, are you sick of manipulation in your relationship? Are you sick of her toxic behavior, all this drama that seems to happen all the time? It's like everything just seems to keep happening. It's like she has this black cloud of bad luck happening, and then she comes home and she throws it on you. And then she gets upset, and then you engage in it, and then before you know it, you're in this 3-ring shit show of a Jerry Springer show. And so if you want to turn this around, there's one move that you can use that'll be an absolute fucking sledgehammer to toxic behavior, and it'll bring you peace, clarity, and calmness in your home. And we're going to get into that right now. My name is Ed Baxter, and I help guys in betrayal situations. I've coached thousands of men, tens of thousands of men who come through my doors in one form or another. I've had over 3,000 guys come through the Betrayed to Badass program. And that's what we do. We'll get you to that place where you make the right decision for you and your children. So here's a hint. It thrives on your reactions. All toxic behavior thrives on your reactions. So the more you interact with it, the more you engage in it, the more it just keeps blowing up. And why is that? Because she needs to feel validated. She needs to feel like you're in the game with her. She needs you to be upset with her. She needs to feel like somebody is on her side. But the problem is that oftentimes this toxic behavior gets pointed back on you. And before you know it, your entire world starts revolving around this woman and all her fucking drama. She can't keep a job down. Her boss doesn't like her. She gets a flat tire. The guy at the shop is an idiot. She can't get along with her friends. She doesn't have any friends. Stacy thinks she's cute, so they're not friends anymore. And then she just cannot have healthy interactions with people, and it bleeds into your relationship with her. And you feel like you're this guy who's always trying to defend her, always trying to make excuses for her, always trying to like see her side of it. You're the guy who's always trying to be fucking understanding of all the craziness going on because you care about her. You care about her and you want her to feel loved. You want her to feel like, and so you're always like trying to correct the record with her. Hey, it's not that bad. Everything's okay. You don't need to be so stressed about it. And you just keep running into this game where you keep running into all this toxic behavior. And so this is how you're going to deal with it. Detach. Just detach from it. You don't have to engage with this shit. Just because she's freaking out doesn't mean you have to be upset. Just because she's upset doesn't mean that she doesn't want to be with you. You getting engaged with it, you getting caught up in it is the problem. So as a man in the masculine leadership position in the relationship, you have to be the solid one. So this is what detachment looks like. She can have a moment, she can do whatever, and you're going to stay calm, cool, and collected. You're not going to engage with it at all. Let her have her moment. She's deciding and choosing to be this way, so she can choose and decide to be this way. It's totally fine. But once it turns toxic, once she starts yelling at you, belittling you, talking down to you, or giving you that nasty tone of voice, you set a hard boundary. You say, hey, look, I'd love to talk to you about this, but this is getting out of control. I don't like being talked to that way. I don't like your tone of voice, and I'm just not going to engage with you when you act like this. And then you walk away. Again, you have to put the responsibility for her own actions back on her. And so you have to follow through. When she does this, and when you set this boundary, you have to follow through. So you've made the promise. And so she's not going to listen to you. She's going to say, well, you can't tell me what to do. And then you turn around and walk away. You have to, because you now just made the commitment that this is what you're going to do. You're not going to engage in it. So now you have to turn around and walk away and not engage with her with this. And then you'll come back later, and then you're going to bring it up again. Hey, but remember that situation where you did that? Yeah, we need to talk about that. We need to talk about how you're talking to me. And then when she loses her mind, say, okay, well, I'm going to walk over here. I'm not going to engage with you because you're going back toxic again. And then if she continues to do this, remember that you are now demonstrating that she doesn't really have respect for you or your boundaries, and you're going to have to start thinking about walking away. And so detach from it. That simple move right there will help you. And why does she do all this? Why? Because it works. There's 3 reasons that this happens in your relationship. 1, it works. She does it because it works. If she loses her mind, she gets toxic towards you, you capitulate, and then you finally say, okay, baby, it's fine. And then before you know it, you stop even defending yourself. You lose yourself in a relationship and everything becomes about her. And because you're allowing this to happen all the time, which is number 2, you are encouraging it. And so, yeah, you're enabling this behavior and you're encouraging it in a relationship. And it's about power and control. She wants to control what you can do. She wants to have the power to do whatever it is that she wants. And when you disengage with this, you win back your peace. In other words, you can choose what you have in your life. You don't have to choose toxicity in your life. And you have to be a hard ass with this. And you can try to be as understanding and clear as possible, but she's not playing that game. So you're going to have to be able to rise to that level of like, hey, I'm not putting up with this. You're not going to talk to me this way, or I'm going to eject. I don't have to be here. I don't have to listen to you. I get to choose what I do with my time, and I don't choose to listen to this. And so you have to demonstrate that you matter. You have to demonstrate that you are powerful enough to actually say no and to walk away. Most guys can't do that. They're so afraid that their woman's going to leave them that they just will put up with it, and they'll keep engaging. Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. I'm trying to do something different. It's like, that's not going to work. All you're doing is enabling the behavior. Yet again, you have to be willing to walk away. So why does this work? Well, 1, she loses control. In other words, she can't control you anymore. Now, she's controlling you by getting you all amped up on everything. And then when you engage with her, she can blame shift and start deflecting and guilting and shaming you. And when you don't engage with it, now she doesn't have control over you. And so now this forces accountability. Now without her looking at you to blame everything on you, and she have to say, hey, look, I don't like the way you're talking to me. Now it forces her to look at herself. And now she's gonna have to deal with that in her own silence. She's gonna have to be pissed off, and now she can blame you in her head, and she can just ruminate, but you're not putting up with it, and you're not engaging in it, which means that you're not taking it on. And so she's gonna make everything about you. She's gonna make all of her behavior about you. If you weren't acting this way, she wouldn't have to get so mad. You're making her mad, you're making her sad, you're making her fill in the blank. And so she's gonna blame everything on you, and you don't have to engage in any of it. And so what do you do when you're not engaging with her? Because there's gonna be a lot of time you're not talking to her, because you have to start creating this space of, hey, we don't deal with this, we don't talk to each other like this in this relationship. And then if you want to continue talking to me like this, maybe we will not have a relationship. You'll have to be willing to walk away from the relationship. If you are not willing to walk away from the relationship when this toxic behavior shows up, you won't win. But you can't win your peace back. You will not have the relationship that you want that's connected and deeply spiritual, because it doesn't happen in the space of this one person losing their mind and being toxic towards you. When it all is said and done, if you're not willing to ultimately walk away, you'll never have the power to make the shift. Why? Because she can say whatever she wants and you'll never leave. But if you're willing to walk away from the relationship, she's like, oh, I guess he's serious. I guess I might have to change. Then if she doesn't care even then you saved yourself a relationship. You're like, I don't have to deal with this, and I'm willing to walk away, and I demonstrated I'm willing to walk away from her, and she still didn't change, then just realize you weren't in a relationship anyway. You're just in this manipulative power control game, and she didn't like you that much to begin with. So did you really lose anything? Probably not. So what do you do when you have all this extra free time? Go build yourself up. Go work on things that build your confidence and make you feel like you matter. Maybe go to the gym, start a business. Maybe start improving yourself in a bunch of different ways, some self-help books, watch more of these videos. And surround yourself with people who uplift you, who are not toxic. And get yourself in a circle of people who are not negative, people who are positive, people who uplift you, care about you, and care about your well-being and where you want to go. And then be a fucking ruthless savage in the game of peace. Do not allow people to be negative and manipulate in your life or toxic behavior. You have to be ruthless with this. And if you've got a woman in your house who is this way all the time, it's going to be rough. You're going to go into a season of pain as you try to deal with this, as you go into the firestorm and the gauntlet of trying to stay calm underneath her firestorm. And this is just how it's going to be for a while, until you can consistently not let her see you sweat. The more you can consistently be powerful in yourself and not let her see you sweat, and you can calmly engage and set this hard boundary and walk away, then the more she's going to change the game. If she doesn't change the game, even if you've been doing all this boundary setting, there's nothing you can do. And you're going to have to be willing to walk away from the relationship. Until you are willing to walk away from the relationship and let her go, most of the time you won't be able to change anything. Until you make that internal shift for yourself, most of the time guys won't be able to change the relationship at all, unfortunately. What you tolerate, you encourage. And if you're not willing to walk away, she'll see the truth of it. She'll see the truth that you're not actually going to do anything about it. You're not going to actually follow through. So why would she have to change? And until you demonstrate that you will follow through, she's not forced to change. She's not forced to take accountability. She's not forced to look at her actions. And if you want to be able to turn your relationship around very quickly in the next few weeks, check out the Broken and Badass in the description below. We deal with this all the time. In fact, 90% of the guys coming to the program are dealing with highly toxic women. Marriages that are failing because the woman has cheated on them, narcissism, borderline, bipolar, all this kind of stuff. This is mainly what we deal with here at Genuine Attraction and in the Broken and Badass program. That's why it's called Broken and Badass. We turn you into a badass from this guy who's broken and lost himself trying to people please this woman to an absolute fucking badass soul seducer. If you want to check out that program, check it out in the link description below. Brother, I love you. I can't wait to see you in the next video. Hit like if you like this one, hit subscribe for the next one, and I'll see you then.